Welcome to the Stoic Tide. You are about to discover a truth that almost no man will ever understand. A truth that, once seen, can never be unseen. At the Stoic Tide, we don't chase illusions, we uncover them. We strip away the noise of society and reveal the quiet power that makes men irresistible, not through tricks, not through words, but through presence. Most men will spend their lives searching for the secret to attraction, and they'll die never realizing that the secret was never hidden in women. It was always hidden within themselves. By the time you finish this lesson, you'll understand how to speak to a woman without fear, how to guide a conversation like a river flowing effortlessly to the sea, and how to awaken that quiet fire in her mind that makes her crave your presence long after you've gone. Chapter 1. The First Mistake. Let's begin with the first mistake every man makes. Overthinking. When you meet a woman, especially one whose beauty silences the room, you start constructing imaginary strategies. What should I say? How should I sit? When should I smile? That's the moment you lose your power. You've stepped out of your own frame and entered hers. You've placed her on a pedestal, and when you do that, you automatically kneel. Here at the Stoic Tide, we live by a simple principle. No one is above you. Not because you are arrogant, but because you are whole. The moment you see her as a goddess, you forget that gods do not need approval. The moment you see yourself as less, your energy bends. She feels that weakness long before you speak, so listen carefully. She is human, nothing more. Her beauty is an illusion of nature, not a throne of superiority. Breathe, look at her, and remember, she feels the same chaos you do. She hides it better. The first act of attraction is equality of energy. Chapter 2. The Stoic mindset. True confidence doesn't shout. It rests. It's the calm at the center of the storm. It's the man who could speak, but chooses silence because silence already says enough. When you approach a woman, your heart may race. That's fine, but inside your mind there must be stillness, an unmovable awareness that says, I am enough. At the Stoic Tide, we call this the anchor. Every wave of emotion that hits you, nerves, fear, attraction, is just water splashing against that anchor. Your composure is the proof of your depth. This isn't about faking indifference. It's about knowing you have nothing to prove. A Stoic man doesn't try to impress. He expresses. He speaks not to gain approval, but to share his truth. And the paradox is this: the less you need her validation, the more she craves yours. Chapter 3. The hidden radar. Now, let's talk about what happens in her subconscious, the radar. Every woman carries within her an invisible radar constantly scanning the men around her. It's not conscious, it's ancient, it's biological. When you speak to her, that radar lights up like a pulse of lightning. It asks questions no words can express. Is he strong? Is he calm? Is he centered in himself? Can he lead me? Her logical mind doesn't ask these questions. Her body does. She doesn't decide attraction. It happens to her. That's why even the smartest women fall for men who confuse them, hurt them, or ignore them. Her mind says no, but her radar says yes. You cannot fight this radar with logic or compliments. You can only activate it through energy. And energy is created not by chasing, but by standing still in your power. So, when you talk to her, don't perform, don't convince, don't compete. Just exist. Be the man whose silence speaks louder than words. At the Stoic Tide, we say, attraction is not a game of words. It's a vibration of worth. Chapter 4. Seeing yourself. Above the storm, women do not choose men based on what men say. They choose them based on how men see themselves. If you treat her like she's above you, the radar concludes you are below. If you treat her like an equal, the radar scans further. But if you behave as though you are the prize, calmly, without arrogance, the radar locks on you. Here's the paradox of attraction. The one who needs less holds more power. When you need nothing, everything comes to you. So speak to her from that place of quiet abundance. Smile because you enjoy her energy, not because you need her reaction. Ask questions because you're curious, not because you're desperate to continue the talk. Women are masters at reading subtle energy shifts. They can feel when a man's words come from anxiety instead of ease. That's why your mindset must become your foundation, solid, grounded, untouchable. The Stoic Tide teaches, control the inner world, and the outer world bows. Chapter 5. The Illusion of Body Language. You've been told to keep your shoulders straight. Chin up, feet pointed outward. Forget all that. True presence cannot be scripted. Your body is not a statue to be arranged. It's an instrument of energy, and energy flows best when you're comfortable. The man who leans back, relaxed, unbothered, he radiates control. The man who leans forward, chasing attention, he radiates need. So when you speak, sit as though you are already home. If you wish to rest your arm, do it. If you wish to lean, lean, but do it from comfort, not calculation. Imagine sitting beside an emperor. You'd adjust yourself, show respect, maybe even stiffen your posture. Now imagine sitting beside your brother. You'd relax completely, laugh freely, move without thought. Between two people, the one most at ease is the one of higher value. That's why, when you sit beside a woman, you must sit as though you're beside an old friend, not a queen. Ease is the crown of confidence. Here at the Stoic Tide, we say, when you stop performing, your soul starts shining. Chapter 6. The Art of Detachment. The ancient philosophers spoke of detachment, not as coldness, but as freedom. Freedom from the need to control outcomes. When you detach, you give her the space to choose you. You become the calm eye of her emotional storm. When she pulls away, you don't chase. When she tests you, you don't react. When she compliments you, you don't inflate. You remain still, and in that stillness, her curiosity grows. Why isn't he chasing me? Why does he seem so sure of himself? Why does his silence feel louder than my words? This curiosity is the seed of attraction. It pulls her closer without her understanding why. At the Stoic Tide, we believe detachment is not rejection. It's magnetism, because the man who can walk away is the man she cannot forget. Chapter 7. The Flow of Conversation. Now that your mindset and body are aligned, let's step into the rhythm of communication. Talking to a woman is like music. There must be melody, silence, and rhythm. Here's the formula. 50% of the conversation should be about her. Percent about the world around you. And percent about you. Why? Because the one who talks less about himself holds more value. The one who needs less approval commands more respect. When you talk about her, ask questions that open her soul, not just her schedule. What makes you laugh when you're alone? What's one dream you've never told anyone? These are not interviews, they're invitations. She'll feel seen, and in that feeling, she'll attach. The next 30% is about the world. Talk about the music, the place, the people, the random nonsense. You don't need to sound intelligent. You need to sound alive, playful and free. Show her you don't need the conversation to have meaning. You are the meaning. The final 20%, when you speak about yourself, must carry humor and humility. Never brag. Never list achievements. Tell stories that show you can laugh at yourself. I once got lost trying to find a gym. I'd been to 5 times. Confidence with humor is irresistible because it whispers, I'm secure enough to laugh at myself. At the Stoic Tide, we teach, the more human you are, the more divine you appear. Chapter 8. The Magnetic Mystery Now. We enter the art of mystery. Mystery isn't about hiding information. It's about revealing it slowly. With grace, when she asks, where do you work? Don't list details like a resume. Smile, pause, and say, let's save the boring stuff for later. What do you dream of doing? Or, if I tell you, I'll have to recruit you. Dangerous job. Playful mystery creates emotional tension. It tells her subconscious, this man is different. He's not begging to be known. He's inviting me to discover him. Never reveal too much, too soon. Because what is fully known too quickly loses its aura. Be the book she cannot finish in one night. Every mystery has gravity, and gravity pulls. Here at the Stoic Tide, we say mystery isn't darkness, it's depth. Chapter 9. When she tests. Every woman's radar will test you. It's not cruelty, it's biology. She needs to know whether the calm you show is real or pretend. She'll tease you, ignore you, question you, or disagree with you. These are not attacks, they're invitations to prove your center. When she says something provocative, don't justify yourself. Smile. Stay silent for a second longer than comfortable. Then respond with humor, not defense. If she says, "You think you're special," reply, "I'm just trying to be limited edition." If she says, "I don't date men like you," reply, "Perfect. I don't date women like me either." Confidence wrapped in humor passes every test. But the moment you argue, explain, or chase validation, you fail. A Stoic man knows that her tests are not challenges to his worth, but confirmations of her interest. If she didn't care, she wouldn't test. So thank the tests. They're proof you've entered her emotional orbit. At the Stoic Tide, we say, calm is the loudest answer.
Chapter 10. Energy before words. Before you ever open your mouth, she feels you. She senses your posture.
Your breathing, your micro-pauses. Energy speaks first. Words come second. That's why no amount of clever lines can replace authentic presence. Presence is created by aligning breath, body, and attention. Breathe deeply from your abdomen. Keep your shoulders relaxed. When you look at her, look through her, not at her, like you're seeing beyond the surface. Every great man throughout history, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, understood this. The man who governs himself governs all. At the Stoic Tide, we call it the masculine field. It's the invisible atmosphere that surrounds you. Women don't fall in love with your face or your muscles. They fall into your field. Your calm becomes her curiosity. Your stillness becomes her storm. Chapter 11. The language of emotional gravity when you speak. Do not aim to impress, aim to resonate. Women remember how you make them feel, not what you say. Your tone, your pauses, your calm delivery. These are what wrap around her subconscious like music she cannot forget. Words are only surface ripples. Emotion is the undercurrent. At the Stoic Tide, we teach that emotional gravity is born from congruence. Your words and your energy must say the same thing. If you say you're calm but your eyes dart with nervousness, the radar will sense the lie instantly. But if you say little and your stillness carries truth, she will lean in without knowing why. You are not trying to entertain her. You are inviting her to enter your emotional rhythm. Slow, grounded, deliberate. The quieter you are, the more space she fills with curiosity. The more you speak with ease, the more she feels safe. Safety breeds trust, and trust is the soil where attraction grows. Chapter 12. The silent authority. There is an ancient power in silence. It's not absence, it's command. Think of a king walking through his court. He does not announce himself. He simply is, and all eyes turn. You must become that. When she speaks, let her finish fully before you reply. Hold your pause one breath longer than most men can bear. That single moment of patience tells her everything. You are not in a hurry. You are not desperate for your next line. You are listening because you choose to, not because you must. In that silence, authority is born, and authority, when balanced with warmth, becomes irresistible. At the Stoic Tide, we say, power whispers, insecurity shouts. Chapter 13. The frame of presence. Every interaction is a contest of frames. Whoever defines reality leads it. If your frame depends on her reaction, you've already lost. But if you stand firm, unaffected by her moods, smiles, or sarcasm, you define the space. Frame is not arrogance. Frame is ownership of perception. It's saying with your energy, I decide how I feel, and nothing outside of me can change that. When you enter a conversation with that inner sovereignty, you become magnetic, because women are not drawn to chaos. They are drawn to control, not control of them, but control of self. At the Stoic Tide, we call this the Emperor's calm. When you embody it, even silence feels like leadership. Chapter 14. The alchemy of emotion. Every emotion she feels around you becomes a thread in the tapestry of attraction. Joy, laughter, slight confusion, curiosity, all of it weaves into desire. Your role is not to keep her emotions flat, but to guide them like a conductor guides a symphony. A small tease here, a compliment, delivered with calm confidence there, a pause that makes her wonder what you're thinking. Each note stirs the radar, each contrast deepens the connection. Don't fear emotional spikes. Fear emotional flatness. If she feels nothing, she forgets you. If she feels something, she remembers. The Stoics never avoided emotion. They mastered it. Likewise, master the art of creating emotion while remaining unmoved by it yourself. That balance is true power. Chapter 15. When to withdraw. There comes a moment when the highest form of attraction is withdrawal. Just when she starts leaning in, give her space. Let silence stretch. Let absence do what words cannot. Distance is a mirror. It reflects your value. The less accessible you become, the more her mind replays your presence. This is not manipulation. It's rhythm. Every tide recedes before it returns stronger. Remember, the moon does not chase the sea, yet the sea rises to meet it. At the Stoic Tide, we remind men, absence sharpens desire, presence fulfills it. Alternate between the two, and you'll never need to chase again. Chapter 16. The tests of fire. No path to mastery is without trial. Her tests are your forge. When she grows cold, when she challenges you, when she flirts with uncertainty. This is the universe asking, can you remain unshaken? Most men crumble here. They panic, they explain. They beg for understanding. But you smile, because you recognize the test for what it is. Proof that she's invested enough to measure your strength. When you remain calm, you communicate the deepest message. I cannot be moved by anything but my own will. That energy does not repel women. It crowns you. Every test passed increases the emotional gravity between you, and eventually, she stops testing, not because she gives up, but because she finally feels safe in your unbreakable presence. That's the quiet victory of the Stoic man. Chapter 17. The paradox of pursuit. You cannot chase what should come naturally to you. Chasing kills polarity. Leadership revives it. When a man chases, he tells her subconscious that she is the prize. When a man leads, he tells her subconscious that he is the journey. You are not seeking permission. You are offering direction. When you invite her into your world, make sure that world has meaning. Purpose is magnetic. A man without mission becomes dependent on approval. A man with mission radiates purpose, and women feel that like heat. From the sun, the Stoic masters knew, when you pursue greatness, women pursue you, so stop seeking women. Seek mastery, and mastery will bring everything else in its wake. Chapter 18. Inner peace as magnetism. Attraction is not created through chaos. It's born through peace. Inner peace is rare, and rarity is valuable. When your calm becomes her calm, she connects you with safety. Most men create tension. Few create relief. Be the latter. Be the moment where she exhales. Be the quiet between her thoughts. Be the man whose presence feels like home. This is not weakness. It's the highest form of strength. Gentle authority. At the Stoic Tide, we call it the warm stillness. It's the energy of a man who's seen storms but no longer fears rain. And when you carry that peace, attraction follows like a shadow at noon. Chapter 19. The unseen. Game. Most men play the visible game. Looks, money, words. Few ever learn the invisible game. Energy, timing, self-control. The visible game fades with time. The invisible game only grows stronger. You can't fake this. You must become it. Every meditation, every breath, every moment of self-discipline builds the foundation. When you can look into chaos and smile, you've already won. Because the essence of attraction isn't in what you get, it's in who you become. The Stoic man does not seek to own anyone. He seeks to own himself. And in that ownership, all else bows. Chapter 20, The Art of Leaving an Impression. The last moment of interaction is as important as the first. Never linger, never overstay, and the conversation, while the energy still rises, leave her wanting the next chapter. A confident exit is louder than any introduction. Smile, say her name slowly. Look into her eyes, not for dominance, but for remembrance. Then walk away without looking back. The silence after your departure will echo louder than any message you could send. This is the way of the Stoic Tide. Leave peace behind you, and curiosity will follow. Chapter 21, Mastering Your Masculine. Essence attraction is not about pretending to be someone else. It's about returning to who you truly are. Every man is born with quiet strength. The world simply teaches him to bury it under doubt, fear, and need. Your task is to unlearn the noise, unlearn the scripts, unlearn the chase. Then, what remains is your natural gravity, your masculine essence. That essence is not loud, it's not flashy, it's not desperate, it is patient, present, and purposeful. At the Stoic Tide, we remind men that real power doesn't seduce, it inspires. It doesn't demand attention, it commands respect through silence. When you master this essence, you stop seeking attraction. You become attraction. Chapter 22, The Final Test. The self-every principle we've spoken of. Mindset, body language, mystery, detachment, all lead to one destination, the self. You cannot master attraction without mastering yourself. Look in the mirror and ask, am I living with purpose? Am I proud of the man I am when no one is watching? Do I live by discipline or by desire? A woman's radar doesn't just scan your words, it senses your truth. You can't fake self-respect. You can only build it. Discipline, purpose, integrity, calm. These are not buzzwords, they're the architecture of attraction. When you build them, women notice. When you don't, words won't save you. At the Stoic Tide, we say, become the man your soul respects, and the world will follow. Chapter 23, Timeless Masculine Wisdom. You are not here to please, you are here to be. Attraction is not a trick, it's truth expressed through presence. Every moment you resist the urge to chase, you strengthen your gravity. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you amplify your aura. This isn't about dominance, it's about direction. It's about living so deeply anchored that no storm can pull you from your purpose. And when you live like that, women will sense it before you even speak. You'll no longer need to get inside their minds. You'll already be inside their emotions. Not through manipulation, but through mastery. This is the forgotten secret most men will never know. Chapter 24, Closing Wisdom. The Tide Within You. Began this journey seeking to understand women. But now you understand something far greater, yourself. You've learned that attraction isn't a performance. It's a vibration. It's not about chasing. It's about standing still so the world can orbit around you. At the Stoic Tide, we are not here to teach tricks. We are here to awaken remembrance. The remembrance of the timeless man who lives inside every man. The one who stands tall not because he needs to, but because his spirit cannot bow. So the next time you feel that pull of uncertainty, remember this lesson. Smile, breathe. Still, let your silence speak. Let your energy lead. Let your calm command. Because when you become the tide, steady, deep, unshakable, the entire ocean moves to meet you. And that, my friend, is the power of the Stoic Tide.